The fishing class in Terraria gives access to items and equipment from every class in the game. Fishing can be used to get powerful equipment early during an adventure, but what if we did something crazy and break the class completely? How's it going, crew? This is HappyDays, and today we're going to see how overpowered you can make the fishing class in Terraria. We've done a few of these videos now, so I'll have the usual rules on screen for you to see. I'll be looking at how overpowered you can make the fishing class in Terraria by looking at weapons, armor, and accessories that are available at 5 major stages of the game that can be acquired only from fishing. This includes anything I can catch using a fishing rod or items from fishing related activities such as angler quest rewards or fighting enemies summoned by fishing. Now there are some exceptions I'm allowing for this challenge which I'll show on screen now. I'll be using basic materials to get started such as wood and stone for crafting and base building, and torches so we can all see what's happening on screen. I can collect herbs to start a potion farm, but I can only harvest them using a staff of regrowth that is acquired via fishing. Items required for advancing the game are allowed, such as certain boss summoning items and any materials needed to craft them. Finally, I can buy the bug net and piggy bank from the merchant. A bug net is required to initially catch bait, so it is necessary for us to begin our fishing adventure. With all that said, let's get this crazy challenge started. We begin our adventure with a fresh new forest to destroy, as I need to collect tons of wood. I really want to start fishing as soon as possible to get our hands on some better equipment, but there's a few things we need to do first. We'll need the merchant to move in before we can get our hands on the bug net, and I'll also need a house for the angler so we can start turning in fishing quests for huge fishing rewards, so I'll build a few basic NPC houses. With our starter base set up, I head out to find the angler. He can spawn in either ocean biome, so I pick a direction and start walking. We'll need to earn 50 silver for the merchant NPC to move in, so although we've only got our starter equipment, I'll try to fight as many enemies as I can along the way to earn some cash. Eventually, I arrive at the beach and find the lazy angler sleeping on the water. I wake him up and he takes a bath as I head back to base to finish collecting the money we need. After spending some time harvesting more wood and dealing with the swarms of slimes, the merchant moves in and now we can buy the glorious bug net. Now I can finally start fishing, but first we'll need some bait. Critters can be found by destroying the grass growing everywhere, and worms can be found by mining the piles of rocks littering the countryside. I head to the desert to work on our first fishing quest. This is probably a good time to mention I'm playing on a small world in normal mode with a journey mode character. I'm using a journey mode character for 2 reasons, both of which are simply based on saving time. Firstly, journey mode allows me to quickly advance to the next day so I can immediately begin a new fishing quest. It also allows me to research quest fish I've already caught. I still need to catch 2 of each quest fish before I can research them, however, so I think this is a fair compromise which saves me a ton of time making this video. After handing in our first quest, I grab a piggy bank from the merchant to keep our money safe and head out to find more bait. There's actually a massive boost to our fishing power available right now, but it's going to require grinding out a total of 30 angler quests. The reason for doing this straight away is that the angler set and the golden fishing rod are guaranteed rewards for the 10th, 15th, 20th, and 30th quest rewards respectively, and will give us a massive 65% boost to our fishing power. By boosting our fishing power early, it will allow us to catch rarer drops quickly and easier, which has the added benefit of using less of our more powerful bait. Finally, I hand in the 30th fishing quest and we collect the amazing golden fishing rod. This will massively power up our fishing efforts moving forward. Before we head back out, I crack open all my crates and get some basic crafting materials, equipment, and accessories. I also craft an anvil so I can make some chests to store all my loot, and then we make a toilet which will give me a small boost to our fishing power if I use it while fishing, so I'll make sure to take a few with me. Now our fishing power has had a nice boost, we can start to go after biome and golden crates. I start in the ocean biome as I can catch tool upgrades like the Reaver Shark while I'm collecting crates. My next goal is to get to 200 health so I have a chance of the goblin army naturally spawning. If I can defeat the goblins, I'll be able to search for the goblin tinkerer NPC, which will unlock reforging and the ability to combine my accessories. The only way to increase my health is to get golden crates, so this is probably a good time to talk about how time and weather passively change fishing power while I visit the various biomes catching crates. In Terraria, your fishing power gets a 20% boost if it's raining, a 10% boost if the weather is cloudy, and a 10% boost during a full moon. Certain times of the day can either boost or reduce your fishing power by quite a large amount too. I'll put an image on screen with more info, but in my opinion between 3 AM and 9 AM is the best best time to fish, as you will either get a neutral bonus or a whopping 30% increase in power between 4:30 AM and 6 AM with no power reduction time. After a ton of fishing, I return to base to crack open my golden crates. Thankfully, I get just enough life crystals to get to 200 health, and with the shadow orb I smashed earlier near my corruption fishing spot, that means the goblin army now has a chance to spawn each morning. I then open all my other biome crates and throw all the loot in some nearby chests for sorting. Once I'm organized, I then use the loadout function to swap setups and equip some combat accessories and craft some tungsten armor to use when fighting. Soon enough, the goblins spawn and I use a basic arena to take them on, and thanks to our new armor and accessories, they can barely put a dent in our HP. The goblins don't stand a chance, and eventually they are defeated, and it's time for me to start searching the caverns for the goblin tinkerer. It's nice to be exploring underground, but I'm not allowed to touch all the amazing loot that keeps passing me by. I find a beautiful life crystal, and as much as I need to get to full HP, I can't take it with me, so I build a little shrine to protect it and continue the search for the goblin. After making my way up and down a few times, I eventually find the trapped goblin and free him. I grab a tinkerer's workshop and throw a few basic modifiers on my equipment for now. Our next goal is to get the lava-proof tackle bag. I start by digging a elevator to the underworld, as we're about to start fishing in lava. To fish in lava, you either need the hotline fishing hook, the lava-proof fishing hook, or lava critters, which is what we'll start with, as they can be caught with our golden bug net. We need to get the lava-proof fishing hook accessory, which is found in obsidian crates. This accessory allows us to fish in lava without needing lava critters, and it also allows me to stack a lava-proof tackle bag and the angler tackle bag for an even bigger boost to our fishing power. Back at base, I open all my obsidian crates and get the lava-proof fishing hook. While I'm at it, I open all my wooden and iron crates and quickly sort out all the extra loot. I craft the angler tackle bag out of my fishing line, tackle box, and angler earring, and then craft the lava-proof tackle bag, saving me lots of accessory slots. While I'm at it, I combine some of my fishing accessories to make the fish finder, displaying useful fishing information such as the moon cycle and the current weather conditions. We're almost ready to start fighting bosses, but there's more powering up to do. I head to the ocean and start setting up a mini arena, as we're about to attempt some blood moon fishing. Fishing during a blood moon gives a chance to summon special monsters that drop some useful items, weapons, and the chum bucket, which temporarily can boost our fishing power when used. While I wait for a blood moon, I keep fishing, as I still need more golden crates for life crystals, so I can work on both things at the same time. Eventually, a blood moon begins, and I quickly use all my buff potions and madly start fishing. During blood moon's pre-hard mode, I'm looking to catch the wandering eye fish and zombie merman. Both these enemies have the same item drops, which include chum buckets, which boost my fishing power up to 20, the vampire frog staff summon, the blood rainbow, the money trough, bloody tears, which can be used to summon more blood moons, and finally, the Chumcaster fishing rod. Although it's weaker than my golden fishing rod, the Chumcaster doubles the chance of fishing up blood moon enemies, so it's well worth using during blood moons. I spend the night frantically fishing and fighting, and by morning we have a ton of loot, and I got lucky to fish up the Advanced Combat Techniques book, which will give our town NPCs a nice boost to their stats. Did you know that you can stack the lava-proof tackle bag, the angler tackle bag, and an extra angler earring for a huge boost to your fishing power? I take off the lava-proof tackle bag to avoid the angler's duplicate item protection, and eventually I have all the items I need for a huge upgrade. My mission continues to collect lots of golden crates to max out our HP. Golden crates have a 12.5% chance to drop a life crystal, and I'll need 10 more crystals, so I'll get plenty of them to be safe. I also grab a few more biome crates while I'm fishing, as there's a few more items I need from them. Back at base, I open all my golden crates and I get just enough life crystals to max out my health, and I even get an enchanted sword, which is nice. After opening all the rest of my biome crates, I get everything sorted and craft a set of platinum armor and some basic ammo for my new weapons, before finally asking the goblin tinkerer to give me some amazing reforges and not take all my money. I'll be going for menacing on all my combat accessories for damage and warding on my fishing accessories for protection while I'm out fishing. I quickly go around to various biomes collecting naturally spawning herbs with my staff of regrowth to get my potion farm started. I've got so many fish waiting at base just waiting to be turned into buff potions, and I'll need them soon enough. I then spend a relaxing couple of nights catching some fallen stars, as there's quite a few useful magic weapons that can be acquired by fishing, and I'll need the mana to use them properly. Back at base, I get all my buff potions ready, as well as use some mana stars to max out my mana, as we're now ready to start fighting some bosses. This first stage was huge in terms of powering up our fishing, and has given us a good range of equipment to start tackling bosses with. We have the Star Fury, Ice Boomerang, Blood Rainbow, Boomstick, Thunder Zapper, and Vampire Frog Staff, and a full set of Platinum Armor. We also got a pair of Fledgling Wings, Feral Claws, and Flurry Boots, and all our combat accessories have Menacing for a 20% boost to our damage. For fishing, we have a full set of Angler Armor, Golden Fishing Rod, the Lava-Proof Tackle Bag, Angler Tackle Bag, Angler Earring, Fishing Bobber, and tons of Master Paws bait. With all our fishing buffs active and fishing at the best times of the day, we've almost reached maximum fishing power, but as this is an OP video, I should mention there's a few things we can do to push it even higher. The inner tube accessory and the toilet both boost fishing power by 5% each, but you normally can't use both at the same time. If you use a flipper potion and have the toilet placed just below the water, you will get the bonuses from both, however. Additionally, making sure to fish during a new moon gives a decent 10% boost to fishing power during the course of the entire day. Lastly, using 3 charges of the chum bucket gives an additional 20 points of fishing power, although 2 charges gives 17 points, so it's probably more economical to only use 2 at a time. Also, a quick note on Shimmer. Shimmer was introduced in an update while I've been away, and to be honest, I kinda forgot it was a thing until I was nearing the end of making this video, so I'll give a quick honorable mention to the Life Crystal, Mana Crystal, Pink Pearl, and Gold Worm, which had Shimmer upgrades at this stage of the game. Stage 2 is here, and that means I can now access everything up to the Wall of Flesh battle. I start by heading straight to the dungeon to take on Skeletron. After setting up a basic arena, I talk to the old man and start the battle. Although I don't actually need anything from Skeletron itself, I want to go fishing in the dungeon, as there's heaps of stuff available down there. Our powered up weapons make short work of the flying bag of bones, and after it's defeated, I quickly make my way down the dungeon steps. After heading a short way in, I use some wood and our bottomless water bucket to set up a fishing spot. There's 2 main things I want to catch down here: plenty of dungeon crates and an alchemy table. We'll need plenty of buff potions moving forward, so the alchemy table will help me get the most out of my potion materials. Before heading back to base, I spend some time smashing up some enemies to collect golden keys. The dungeon crates I just caught contain golden lock boxes, which contain rare items from the dungeon, but require a golden key to open, so I'll grab plenty of them. Back at base, I crack open all my dungeon crates and then open my golden lock boxes, and I get a bunch of nice items, including a shadow key and a cobalt shield. I can now use the shadow key to open the obsidian lock boxes I got from fishing for obsidian crates earlier to get loot that usually drops from shadow chests. I can't believe my luck getting the Sun Fury, Flame Lash, Dark Lance, and the Hellwing bow for a massive power boost. Next, we head to the underworld to prepare for the Wall of Flesh battle. I head to the edge of the world and start making a long pathway for the upcoming battle, and use my bottomless honey bucket to set up heal stations along the track. Back at base, I top up my combat buff potions before visiting the Goblin Tinkerer again for some weapon reforging, as we're about to enter hard mode. This stage went really quickly, but we still got some excellent upgrades with our Cobalt Shield, Sun Fury, and Hellwing bow. Although we got a lot of fishing upgrades in the first stage, there's still plenty to unlock in hard mode, so let's keep moving. I start stage 3 by hurling the guide doll into the lava and summoning the Wall of Flesh. My Aqua Scepter and Hellwing bow make quick work of the Hungries, and then I have fun unleashing all my other new weapons against the wall itself. The fight goes much quicker than I expected, and soon enough the wall explodes as hard mode begins. Now we're in hard mode, I can't wait to start unlocking some of the powerful upgrades that are available to us right now. The first thing we do is, you guessed it, start fishing. Each crate has an upgraded hard mode version, and these crates can drop hard mode ores and bars, allowing me to craft much stronger armor. There are also 3 extremely rare hard mode fish weapons from the Hallow, Corruption, and Crimson, which I'll show on screen now. We'll be able to achieve 2 goals at once, as while I'm trying for the special biome weapons, I'll be able to catch lots of crates while I wait for them to drop. It takes a while, but eventually I catch the Crystal Serpent and I move on to the Corruption. corruption. I settle in for a long fishing session in the corruption, but to my complete amazement, the Toxicarp drops quite quickly. As we've got the corruption and snow biomes overlapping, I hang around and keep fishing as we have a chance to catch the scaly truffle, which is a decent flying mount. We're in a corruption world, so I'll need to make an artificial crimson biome to fish for the blade tongue, and this bucket of lava will help me do it. In Terraria, if there are 5 or more tombstones nearby, a mini graveyard biome will be created. We can easily get 5 tombstones by going for a few lava baths. Once the biome is spawned, I quickly buy plenty of seeds so we can get back to fishing. I head to one of my fishing spots and start placing rows of dirt blocks and planting the crimson seeds in them. Currently it takes 300 blocks to create an artificial crimson biome, so once the background changes, we're good to go. It doesn't take too long for the blade tongue to drop, which is nice, but I'll hang around for a while longer to get some more crates as I still need tons of them. After a lot more fishing, I head back to base to start cracking open my crates. We get plenty of loot as well as a bunch of hard mode ores, but before we can craft our new armor, I need to upgrade our forge. So I craft an orichalcum anvil and then make a new pickaxe as we're about to head to the underworld. Hull forges need at least 60% pickaxe power, so unfortunately our Reaver Shark wasn't quite capable of mining it up. Back at base, I upgrade our Hell Forge to a titanium forge, and after smelting some hard mode ore, craft a set of adamantite armor and all 3 helmet variations as we're using weapons from all classes. I also craft several keys of light and night from the souls that dropped from our biome crates. This will allow us to summon biome mimics to get some of their powerful equipment. After grabbing some buff potions, I start fighting the biome mimics. Our new blade tongue weapon can apply the Ichor debuff to enemies, reducing their defense by a whopping 15 points. Our new weapons smash the mimics fairly easily, and I grab the Daedalus Stormbow and the powerful chain guillotines before we head back to the ocean for even more upgrades. Using one of the bloody tears we got earlier, I start another blood moon and begin fishing. We can fish up new enemies in hard mode, and they have even more powerful weapons for us to collect. The main things I'm after is the Sanguine Staff from the Dread Nautilus, the Drippler Crippler from the Blood Eel, and the Bloodthorn from the Hemogoblin Shark. I can use our blade tongue to apply Ichor before swapping to our chain guillotines and Crystal Serpent for some nice damage against these enemies. I actually get all the weapons I was after on the first night, but I decide to keep fishing for a second night as the Hemogoblin Shark and Blood Eel can also drop the Hammer Axe, which is the strongest ham axe we can get in this challenge. Before we start fighting hard mode bosses, I'd like to upgrade our wings, and thankfully the angler has a set of fin wings available as a quest reward once you reach hard mode. It takes quite a few quests, but eventually he gives up the wings, and all that's left for us to do now is reforge our equipment as we're ready to start fighting some bosses. There was lots of new upgrades available to us in this stage, with fishing unlocking plenty of new weapons. Our main damage dealers are the Crystal Serpent and Chain Guillotines, with the Blade Tongue and Toxicarp being great support weapons due to applying the Ichor debuff and Poison debuff respectively. We have a full set of adamantite armor which gives some nice damage boosts to our weapons, and we picked up a set of fin wings which will be a huge help in our upcoming boss fights. Also a quick note, I did miss the obsidian swordfish that was available from fishing in lava in this stage. I do pick it up in the next stage, but I wanted to mention that it was available now. And as this is an OP video, I'll give an honorable mention to the hidden luck statistic. Luck has a chance to give our fishing power a hidden boost by up to 40% for a single catch. I'll show an image on screen to help illustrate the basics. To boost our luck easily, we can do things like placing a garden gnome, drinking a luck potion, and placing torches that match the biome we're in. We can already catch everything we need with our OP fishing equipment, but if you'd be interested in me testing the benefits of maximum luck and fishing in a separate video, let me know in the comments below. Stage 4 is here, and now we have access to hard mode bosses, and we're going straight for Duke Fishron, but first I need to go hunting for worms. Duke Fishron is summoned by fishing in the ocean with the truffle worm as bait. Truffle worms are critters that spawn in the underground mushroom biome and can be highlighted with a hunter potion. I spend some time smoothing out the area to help speed things up, and soon enough I have a bunch of worms ready to feed the Fishron. We head to the ocean and start setting up an arena for our upcoming battle. This battle is all about mobility, so I set up a framework of platforms to use as well as some honey and heart lanterns to help regenerate my health. I use all my buff potions and summon the giant fish and get the battle started. I immediately whack him with the blade tongue to stick him with the Ichor debuff and then start blasting away with my Crystal Serpent. Although it's a long fight, my fin wings give me plenty of mobility to stay ahead of the rampaging beast, and eventually he falls and drops the bubble gun. The bubble gun is one of the best drops I could have possibly gotten, as it absolutely destroys Duke Fishron, which will make farming the rest of his drops even faster. I get most of the weapons fairly quickly, but the Fishron wings have quite a low drop chance, so after getting some more truffle worms, I see our prize eventually appear and we can move on with our challenge. After throwing some modifiers on our new equipment, it's time for a boss rush. We'll start by taking on the mech bosses, and the combination of our bubblegun, razorblade typhoon, daedalus stormbow, and flare-on make quick work of them. While I wait for life fruit to spawn, I head straight to the jungle and start setting up a Plantera arena around a nearby bulb. With the basic arena set up, I smash the bulb and start wailing on Plantera with my bubblegun and razorblade typhoon while applying Ichor to keep the damage going strong. Soon enough, the giant plant falls and I grab the temple key and we head to the underworld as there's a weapon I almost forgot to collect. I fish in the lava for the obsidian swordfish. This is one of the strongest spears in the game with a massive 24% base critical strike chance, but it does have an extremely short range. As I mentioned earlier, I could have got this in stage 3, but I kind of forgot. Returning to the jungle, I now start searching for life fruit. It takes a while, but eventually we max out our health and now we're going to find the ether biome. I throw a life crystal, mana crystal, pink pearl, gold worm, and life fruit into the shimmer to get a vital crystal, arcane crystal, galaxy pearl, gummy worm, and aegis fruit. These give me some permanent minor regeneration buffs and a small buff to my defense, luck, and fishing power. Back at base, all that's left to do is reforge our new weapons to their best modifiers and move on to the endgame to see if we can complete this challenge. This stage had some amazing upgrades for us, including the flare-on, tsunami, bubblegun, razorblade typhoon, and tempest staff. We also got a pair of fishron wings for a massive boost to our mobility. We also fished up the obsidian swordfish I missed in the last stage. We've arrived at the final stage and the finish line is in sight. I smash my way through the temple as we head for the golem chamber. Thankfully, the chamber is fairly open, so I start clearing out the traps as we prepare to smash golem. With a basic arena set up, I summon golem and quickly destroy its arms with our razorblade typhoon and bubblegun. I then finish off the body with our flare-on and tsunami before heading to the dungeon to continue our boss rush. Arriving at the dungeon, I quickly dispatch the cultists and prepare to face the lunatic cultist. This boss moves quite quickly, so our flare-on and razorblade typhoon allow me to focus on dodging while keeping the damage ticking away. Soon enough, the boss falls and it's time to destroy some celestial pillars. The vortex pillar is near the dungeon, so I start destroying waves of mobs with our razorblade typhoon, which is outstanding at dealing with pillar enemies. As the shield falls, I use my bubblegun to make short work of the pillar. While my buffs are active, I decide to keep smashing pillars and take down the solar and nebula pillars before returning to base to prepare for the Moonlord battle. I decide to set up a spawn point near my base for the Moonlord fight. I put down a bed and some basic regen before heading out to find the Stardust pillar. I zoom out for the last pillar in preparation for our Moonlord battle. The Stardust enemies are no match for us, and once the shield falls from the pillar, I blast it with our bubblegun. After grabbing the fragments, I return to our outpost, refresh my buffs, and prepare for impending doom. The Moonlord spawns and I immediately start firing our razorblade typhoon to deal with the hand eyes. I swap to my bubblegun as the forehead eye opens, as I only get a small window to damage it and I want to deal as much direct damage as possible. Soon enough, the core opens and I use my blade tongue to inflict it with Ichor before unleashing a barrage of bubbles onto it. Eventually the Moonlord starts exploding and we have defeated the Moonlord using only equipment gained from fishing. As the credits start rolling, we return to base as the townspeople celebrate with some fireworks and we take another look at our equipment. This is usually the part of the video where we take a look at our weapon and armor upgrades unlocked by defeating the Moonlord, but perhaps in a very fitting way, we only have one final upgrade available to our fishing equipment. Returning to the ether, I throw our bottomless water bucket into the shimmer to transmute it into a bottomless shimmer bucket, which is only possible after the Moonlord is defeated. Back at base, we build ourselves the ultimate luxury, our very own shimmer pond, and although unfortunately we can't fish in it, being able to transmute items from the comfort of our own base is very handy indeed. This was so much fun maxing out our fishing at each stage of the game. I've had quite a few requests now to update my original 4 OP videos with all the new update content included, so let me know in the comments if you'd like me to check that out. We've also yet to explore OP modded classes, so that's another possibility I'm interested to explore, so if that's more your thing, add a comment letting me know. I had a blast making this video, and if you enjoyed it too, please smash the like button and consider subscribing for more fun videos like this. And here's the most important part as always, you'll stay happy and I'll see you soon. This is HappyDays signing out. See ya!